What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Devil's Details Diecast Custom Build Series. And don't adjust your mobile device or whatever you're watching this on. You're seeing a bus on the turntable. And not just any bus, but the famous Road Bandit taxi from Hot Wheels, modeled after the Jeepney, very famous Philippines and Far East taxi mode, I guess, of transportation. I originally got this to make it into a Jeepney, and then I started looking online and started looking at some rat rod buses and stuff like that to kind of fit the theme of the channel this year, and that got more of my attention than just turning it into a Jeepney. So I think that's the route we're going to take here. It's going to take a lot of work, I think, for this casting. That bubble top is going to have to come off, and I'm going to have to fill in the top. I'm also going to stretch the front, I believe. This thing is pretty much already set up to be a rat rod just by the way it was put together originally. But I think I want to stretch out the front a little bit, kind of detach the front, and not really, you know, go too crazy, but just kind of make it separate from the carry area, I guess you'd call it, the pedestrian area. This definitely will not be a person hauler once it gets done, but it's got a lot of chrome on it. That's all going to have to come off, so that's going to take a little dip into the simple green. And it's got a lot of plastic, which is also going to have to be painted or cut out or whichever. So it's going to be true rat rod style. It is very low already, but it does have a forward rake. So I'm actually going to drop the ass on this one and put it to the ground. And of course we'll get some rat rod looking tires and paint job as well. And should be fun. Something a little different for the channel and for myself, and a little bit of a challenge than just making kind of a hot rod rat rod. So hope you enjoy this build, as I'm looking forward to it, and stick around. Alright, so here is the Road Bandit out of the stripper and out of the simple green for the dechroming. And if you ask any woman, she'll tell you one of the most important parts of any outfit is the shoes. I got some new wheels in from Greenlight, and this is actually these wheels are actually from a Dodge pack. Let me get some more light on the situation here. And I love the look of these wheels, but as you can tell, there's still a pretty good gap underneath the bus, and we're gonna want to slam this bus to the ground. So what I'm going to do is actually remove the tabs from the interior itself that normally hold the wheels, and that'll give us, I think, a little bit of extra drop in the chassis in the body, in order to get this a little bit lower to the ground. We want to slam this to the ground, basically. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Obviously we got to fill in the roof, and we got to fill in the gaps in the back. I will probably utilize some of this glass, probably the back version of the glass, to do that, especially to fill in the gaps. The top is bubbled, as you know, so that's not going to really help us on the top. So I'm just going to cut the back glass, use that as my filler, and then milliput over that. Probably won't keep the windshield, as it is a rat rod, so the front's probably just going to be open. And I'm still debating on whether or not to extend the front end out. We'll see what it looks like after it's been slammed, and we'll tune into that when we get that done, so stick around. So here we have the bus, and yes, it is a roller. This was way more involved than I originally thought, or else I would have filmed it. I ended up cutting off the front fenders to get the height I wanted. I had to create some axle tubes, and I had to tub the back pretty severely. which none of it's going to be seen anyway. And I also had to eliminate the actual bottom of the casting, which isn't a big deal in any way. So I've achieved the level of slam, if that's a thing, I was going for in the bus, and I'm very happy with how that turned out. And I think it does look a little more rat roddy without the front fenders, so I'm actually glad with how that turned out. So onward and upward. Alright, so I went ahead and cut some styrene for the roof, fit it in there with a little bit of super glue, and then we're just going to take some Bondo glazing and spot putty and hope that fills in the remainder. I actually might, now that I look at it, I might take another piece of thinner styrene and go along the top inside part. That might make a little more sense, because the Bondo, it's good, but it's not going to fill that whole section, and I don't want to use Milliput because it's too heavy. So I think looking at it on camera, I'm going to take a smaller, thinner piece of styrene, fill on that to bring it up to the roof edge, and then I'll use the Bondo to basically just fill the gaps. So I just wanted to give you guys a peek at the filled hole, if you will, with the styrene, and I'll give you an update once we get the roof all nice and smooth. So as you saw in the pictures, we got the top sealed up and primered and painted this camel yellow. And while the base is drying with some black details, I wanted to go ahead and fill in these window sections. So I just cut out some packaging, some plastic packaging, fitted in on the inside, and I'm going to spray it with some Tamiya smoke. That way there we'll have like a tinted look. And we're going to spray that on the inside of the glass. So when we put it on the inside here, it'll look like it's tinted windows. So we're going to go ahead and get that done off camera, and I'll show you the result of that painting. And if you remember, this is what we started with, the Hot Wheels Road Bandit Taxi, modeled after the famous Philippines and Far East jeepneys, pretty much lending itself already to be a rat rod, since it is comprised of old World War II jeeps and buses. But our intention today was to make it into a cool ass rat rod bus, and here's how she came out. And here you have it, folks, the Road Bandit turned rat bus in all its dirty glory. Wanted to try something a little different here with the weathering. Most buses that I saw had a very worn out top from being sun bleached, obviously, sitting out in the sun all day. So I tried to go lighter to darker as I worked down the side of the bus. I think I achieved that pretty well. I did go a little bit heavy-handed on the dirt and grime this time around, figuring that a bus has a lot of surface space to pick up a lot of road grime and everything. As you can see, it is still a roller, which I'm pretty excited about. Back wheels are tucked pretty far underneath, but they're actually there, so it does have wheels in the back. I decided to keep the back the way it was. I thought it looked just fine, especially being a rat rod. Didn't really feel the need to fill in that whole back, especially once I painted it black and left the window open. I thought it looked pretty good. Side windows I'm very happy with. It came out as expected with the liquid smoke spray from Tamiya on just some card back. Did a nice job of blacking out the windows, and then your usual suspects on the weathering, some Citadel, some apple barrel paints, and some Tamiya clear smoke for the darker areas. A pair of Greenlight wheels, and we have an otherwise pretty janky Road Bandit with some pretty ugly glaring colors turned into a fairly cool rat bus, if I do say so myself. I hope you enjoyed the build, and I hope you enjoyed the results. Until the next one, be well.